Hey everybody, this is On the Move with Sports Kales. And we got the Sports Kales and Wine podcast jumping on live here from Nationwide Arena. So I am in the media room where the media is now speaking to Omarosa. Everybody knows she was, Trump's aide. She had her own show when Trump was just a reality star when that was Apprentice. So we have been able to talk to a lot of the special guests that have came through here from this morning, and we're just excited to talk about it. So what's up, Troy? What's up?
Nothing, man. Just got in town last night. So we was out on a little vacation in Florida, but we back now, ready to go. You seen
Okay.
So you talked to Clark Kellogg too?
Yes, I got to talk to Clark Kellogg, and he really talked about how HBCU, especially now, has been instrumental to athletes. And again, having a choice. He even said it doesn't matter if you go to those prestige, like the Dukes, the Ohio States. It's about making sure that your school fits. That's what he told us to tell parents. Make sure that the school that you choose fits. He said that now you have been able to have such a platform. Not just athletes, but students across. We see it because we all have children, and they have been able to really leverage education to now become entrepreneurs, to start careers, and then even having your own likeness and how to create that to create those funds, or they say get the bag even while you're an athlete in school.
And this is the first time that we had an event like this in our city, correct?
Correct. So the mayor's going to be here. We talked to Cheryl Miller. She has a show. She has a movie that is going to be actually aired. It's airing now, and I'm going to find that information because I want you to hear about it. It's going to be on HBO, and I'm just excited.
She got a documentary, right?
A documentary. Yes, she does. She has a documentary.
I've seen that. It's not
Did you
out.
see it?
It's
Yes.
already out, isn't it? Yeah.
It
It's
should
about
be
the
already
it's about the USC team.
correct. It's the HBO documentary of Women's of Troy.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah. Okay. So it's out.
It's really good.
So it's definitely a watch.
It is definitely a watch. I learned stuff about Cheryl Miller I didn't even know.
Okay, and I got to watch it. So they're actually they had that. I'm looking at the schedule. So it actually is going on now.
Basically, if Cheryl Miller didn't get injured, she'd be like the best. She'd be like the Michael Jordan of women basketball.
Oh wow! And that's what it was.
She got injured.
Let me tell you something about Cheryl Miller. She was so humble, and the way women's sports has kind of played out. And she was talking about her early days of playing ball, and she was able to see again, when we talk about that leverage of what women's sports look like. She said that the women are more faster, they're more athletic, but they're also more educated on the sport itself. So she was able to talk about, when they were when she was playing, it was just more the love of the game. Now it's more of your education. You need to have education to actually make it, and to make it even on the collegiate level. And she also talked about the rival between her and her brother, and to see how them both are now just moving in a different platform from the on the court to now broadcasting. Now she's coaching now, which I didn't know either. I was like, I
think she coached at UC Santa Barbara. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep. UC Santa Barbara. And I was like, wow. And she even said that she was just like, wow, like to see. She talked about coaching from the perspective of when she was an athlete, from now coaching her own players, and how again they're athletic, they're educated, and they want to know, but they also want to know how to build their brands too. And those are platforms that she never had when she was playing.
That USC team was loaded too. I think they had Cooper. Cooper was on that team. Was Cooper on that team? They had the twins.
I'm gonna go do some research because I was like, wow.
Yeah, they had Cooper on that team. They had the two twin towers on the team. They were twins, like Pamela and Paula. I might be wrong with their name, but they were on the team too. They was loaded.
Okay,
That
well, we
USC
going
team. It was like in the mid like 79 through 84 or something like that. They went to the Olympics too. They all got like Olympic medals. They was loaded. And I
I know
think
I
Sierra Miller,
cannot
I think
wait.
she led the league. She led the NCAA from freshman to senior till she got
Right,
hurt.
and I know, and it was like one game she talked about where she had 105 points. So I guess it was the I guess the time period of when her brother, he ended up getting like 71 points, and so he came home like, hey, I got 71 points, and he was like, what? And she was like, what? No, and he was like, how many points you got? And then she kept talking about. He said 80. She was like, no, said 90. And then she said, I got 105. And he came running to his mom like, Mom, like what? So it was just good to see her on that candid side, but also too about this HBO documentary of Women of Troy. It was for dads and daughters. So they really promoted dads bringing their daughters to this event. So just a little bit about the All-Star Weekend. It has everything you can enjoy from families to daughters. Bring out your kids. You still can get tickets. Here, it's right here in Columbus, Ohio. I'm like, it has an action-packed day. And so I'm kind of just going to run down a few things that's going to happen. They had an all-star meet and greet. This was because it started on Thursday, the college basketball all-star celebrity extravaganza. And it's a part, again, they're partnering up with the HBCU Classic of Columbus. So you had all-star, you had a convention where they had a MBK, which is My Brother's Keeper. They hosted a college career community fair. That was today, this morning from 10 to 1. Last night was the No Cap, comedy show tour with Joe Torre and special guests. They had the after party. They're trying to have the biggest line dance. Is what's going to happen about 3:30 here today, right here at Center Court in Nationwide Arena. They had wealth and education talk. So I kind of peeked in there. And again, they just had financial presentations about how to financial planning the wealth, engaging and building your wealth, not just at your job, but building your own legacy. And so it was some great. They talked about real solutions, your financial position. Doesn't matter if you have bad credit or even good credit. How again, that visibility to how to create wealth for your families from years to come. They have the Central State alumni. So you got Central State alumni all over the place. So again, a piece of your ticket price will go towards their endeavors that they have going on, and that is going on today. And then they even have events tomorrow. So tomorrow events, if you kind of turn the page. So this afternoon, they have the All-Star Fashion Experience. That's what's going on right now. So the Fashion Council Fashion Week have actually have a 1-hour fashion show. They got the All-Star Kids Party hosted by Lele, that girl Lele. And they have a 7-year-old DJ. And I just spoke with her, and I'm sorry, her name is, I'm going to get it because,
7-year-old
listen,
DJ. Wow.
7-year-old DJ. Her name is Lily
Wow.
J. DeShow.
Okay.
And she started basically over COVID. And she was like, my dad is trash. She said, I'm going to show my dad how to be a DJ. So her dad showed her how to, mix. And she has a show. And she's right there in Cleveland, Gooch. So she has a show
amazing.
on the main radio station on Saturdays at 1 o'clock. And you better, it's a podcast. So it's called Lily J Show, Instagram, Facebook, and her show is on Saturday. So we got to reach out and talk to her.
Put her link out.
We're going to have to put her links out. So she's going to be the DJ. Okay, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying we need to elevate that young lady who's doing something that's really cool at such a young age to encourage her. I think that's awesome.
That's wow.
And when we was email, I cannot wait to put her video up. When I say articulate with what she was saying, how she was saying it, she could talk about why she started DJing. She wanted to be a voice. And now her show, get this, her show was about empowering girl bosses.
Wow.
Girl bosses, and she talks about how again to become a girl boss even in COVID, how to get your parents involved. So her dad is Juan Goodwin, and he's managing her, and it has taken off. So that All-Star Kids Party is from 1 to 3 o'clock, so it's going on right now, and she's throwing a party, and Lily J the show is the DJ. What? Love it All-Star power.
So, Tanya, are you seeing a lot of representation from all the HBCUs of the country, or is it just like a certain area? Is it everybody down there?
I've seen Hampton, Coach. Coach Brown, he's been a coach. He has a couple books out. He is going to be he is the coach for the old school versus new school celebrity gang. So what they did, they have the old school versus new school celebrity gang, and then they have the official classic game, which will be at, I want to say it's like 8 o'clock tonight. So it's the best of HBCU versus the best from Ohio. So right now we talked to a couple Hampton players. There's been some, Central State, a couple, I think it was Georgetown. So this is a couple other HBCU. I'm going to say Georgetown, apologize. It was Hampton. They had FAMU. So there was just a couple other, I'm looking for the list now. So kind of like, again, there's so much happening that I was just like, what? Again, to be able to have the opportunity to be down here. So I want to make sure that I'm giving the correct information out. But I know some of the athletes are from Hampton, and they're going to be coached by Coach Brown. So, but I will be coming live all day. If the event's over about 10 o'clock. So the last kind of ending, they have a college basketball all-star game, the official HBCU Classic Columbus Celebrity After Party. Tomorrow, they're doing the Silver Souls, 5K, 10K. So you're talking about all our veterans. When I say Silver Souls, we are part of that Silver Souls. And they're going to do a stress-free walk, mental health, healthy choices. And then you have your different levels that you want to walk. And that's going to be at Three Creeks Metro Park. And then they have the weekend wind down. And then the end of the celebration is a tour of Italy sneaker ball. And this event is a 2-part Italian-themed food competition where 14 contestants will compete to try to cook their way to $1,400. So the winner will be announced at the red carpet black tie affair, and then you rock out your sneakers at the beautiful vault located in downtown Columbus. So they're gonna have some comedians. They got VP. I mean, it's just gonna be a great way. So tickets, they said, are still on sale, and then as well as while you're there, you can get a 3-course meal that's catered by 5-star event planning event company. So action-packed.
Seems like our city is representing it this weekend.
When I say represented, it's so great to see Black excellence from young to the youth to adults, even to our silver, I call our silver souls. I love that word. I'm gonna start calling. I'm a silver soul, and to be able to see them, and these ladies and gentlemen that I've been talking to, they rocking out. They have been rocking out. They talk about going to HBCU school and how it has changed and how it has made it better for them to see how HBCU has leveraged themselves. Again, I keep saying that word, but to leverage themselves into these prestige colleges that they probably would even never have a part of when, because it was HBCU and then college, and really making an impact that you don't have to just go to your regular D1 school. You can now go to HBCU and get the same great education and move that, because again, like Clark Kellogg said, HBCU, look at Deion Sanders, look what he's doing down in Jackson State, really making moves and really opening up that door to, again, learn what school you're going to, learn what college you're going to attend, and who's been there prior, who was there before you, and what does that college have to offer.
Eddie George too. Don't forget Eddie George.
Eddie George at Tennessee State. Yes. And August the 28th will be the actual HBCU Classic, and it's coming right back here to the shoe, and it's Kentucky State, University, and Central State.
Yeah, that was a great time. They did a good job last year with it too.
Yes. So now it's going to be, they're coming back again this year. So we're excited to see, Black excellence to be shown on a high national professional level, and to see not just African American, but to see of all different races and colors come out and celebrate HBCU. That's what it's all about.
I hope they enjoying the city too. Everything. I know we're going to represent our city, and they seem like everybody who out here coming to our city for the first time, they say they love it. So
yeah, and they love it. But we was talking to some of the celebrities, and they said the same thing. Like they loved the city. Was enriched. It was diversity. So many different little pods and hubs. That you were able to get in some great food. I've been telling everybody, if you want some great food, you have your choices here in Columbus, and just nationwide has really built up just in the last 2 years. That whole area. The whole area. So so that's a little bit. That's what's going on in the city of the C bus here in the C bus.
All
And
right,
I'm
let's
just,
get it.
let's get it, Goose. So go on and take it over. Go on and take it over. What we gonna do today?
Tanya, I'm gonna try to match your excitement today the best I can. You know what I mean? I'm trying to elevate myself to that level. I've got up. I've been to the gym. I've done yard work. I've worked out. You know what I mean? So I'm
I
ready
did
to
some
go.
yard work
You know
too.
what I mean?
I just
I'm
cut the
fresh and
grass, the
clean.
front and the back. Yeah.
Fresh
Somebody
and
to
clean
go and
for
get
the-
RKL. Somebody get RKLs going on because our dog keep digging up our grass. So somebody come over here and help us get some yard work done because me and him both we ain't got no green thumb. We got dirt over there where we at.
Hey, so today, look, there's a lot of stuff going on in sports, man. We got some wonderful guests here. We got Troy, we got Sorry Dog. They ready to roll. Sports Kale already got the energy. So I got some good stuff I want to talk to y'all about.
Let's go.
Hey,
Let's go.
so we got to jump into this one cat that I really ain't have no beef with, but then he went and joined another team that didn't need help, and I've had beef with him since 2016. That's better known as Kevin Durant. So they had a discussion about Kevin Durant during the course of the week, and they were calling him the greatest player on the earth right now. And I'm like, you can't be that guy. You cannot be that guy the way you playing right now. Okay?
Not
so
0 for 10.
Hey, they've been getting it taken to them by the Celtics, which we're going to dig a little bit deeper into in the next section. But for right now, to kick the show off with some fire, where do you stand with KD right now? You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. Who want to jump in and tell me where KD and the Nets are right now?
The Nets is looking to get eliminated. That's where they at right now.
They in the toilet bowl.
And then they're gonna bring Ben Simmons out on Monday, which I don't know why. I don't know what that's gonna do. So he's playing on Monday. So I mean, but they only gonna give him 15 minutes. He's not gonna be a factor. Kevin Durant's in the worst student slump of his life. He was 0 for 10 last game in the second half. Kyrie can't do it by himself. So Celtics just hit their stride at a good time, man. Because they weren't like this at the beginning of the season. They just hit that stride, and I see Brooklyn going home.
Well,
in 5.
Well, the Celtics had started coming up anyway. If you remember, they had went through their tough patch early in the season. And during the end of the season, they were one of the hottest teams in the NBA. But what I'm about to say now, y'all gonna laugh. I don't want to come off crazy, but don't count the Nets out just yet. Don't count the Nets out just yet. So I mean, when they get to 4-0, I mean that's when you count them out. But right now, KD still is the most dynamic scorer in the NBA in this playoff right now. So I'm not writing them off just yet, but to Troy point, Troy made some excellent points there. You know, a lot of times I don't always agree with Troy, but in this segment right here, I will agree with him a little bit. Okay. Because Troy be ready to write people off too soon.
I know.
In the NBA. Now, granted, Troy, me and you and Kale, we all on the same street. We done saw plenty of playoff basketball in our lifetime. And I hate to say it. Now, I don't know. My brother may not agree with me, but it's still the NBA. They still got sponsors. And sweeps is not good for the NBA. I'm not trying to say it's fake. I'm not trying to say it's phony. But there's a lot of money left on the table. So
okay. You know what? Cyber Dog, that's where I was going. Because you know me, Kales, I go to the money. I follow the money. I follow the bag. And the bag is, I think sometimes, I don't think there's they kind of like play relaxed. You know, because when I look at Kevin Durant, he is an explosive player, like 4 quarters. I think he might be the only one. He reminds me of Allen Iverson, where he plays consistently hard ball. In these last couple games, he has not played. I think he's been kind of just, and I don't know, because again, that's the powers that be. We know how, we the fans talking, so I'm going to just let it out. We know how it do. We know what they do. It's money.
Right.
They ain't had no money in 2 years. So think about it. And I think the Celtics, but you can't take it away from the Celtics either, because they've been balling.
Yeah, you can't underestimate their defense. Celtics got good defense, man. They just been bottling them up.
It's
okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
And they can get eliminated if Kevin Durant don't come out this slump. They going home. They're going home because. And that kind of just flip over to just to see some new blood, to see some new teams take precedence because LeBron ain't in the picture. And I think now we as fans are able to see some new players thrive and really come into their own. You know, sometimes I think athletes are intimidated by LeBron when he's in the, when he's in the playoff picture. So now there is no one. Think about how they're playing. Look at Ben Simmons. Look how even these young players that are even getting 5-10 minutes, they making them minutes count on the ground. And so, I love it. I love it this year to see some new blood come into play and seeing some new weight, some new balling. It ain't all that 3-point shooting. It's going to the hole. It's going to the hole. They going to the hole. You better get out the paint. If you ain't in the paint, you're going to get ran over. That's how I see it.
So I'm going to throw this at you. So Tanya made some really good points about LeBron. So LeBron is really the old head of the league. You know what I mean? He's still the face of the NBA. So the NBA is really missing his presence as it relates to the money and everything, to the playoffs and everything. This was LeBron's time. But you know what? If you look at those Celtics, those young boys are young. I just realized Jason Tatum is only like 24 or 25 years old. He's been in the playoffs. Him and what's his name?
Jaylen Brown.
They got good playoff experience, and they ready to really make this thing happen right now against the Nets.
And they're missing their fifth. They're missing Robert Williams. Robert Williams ain't even playing. So.
Yeah. What can I say this for our listeners who may not be caught up on the NBA playoffs? Does anybody have like a schedule for the weekend or who playing what?
So Neil, we gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna pull that up because that schedule is heavy.
Yeah, but a couple points for our guests coming in. We got a special guest coming in at 1:30. So there was a couple things that happened in between the Nets and the Celtics game. I want to talk about Kyrie's behavior. Get y'all thoughts on him giving the fans the birds. And where should the fans be? Should they have restrictions, rules? Should we put them out? Should there be some laws and enforcement for the fans? Should we call the police on the fans? What do y'all think? What do y'all think about that?
Let me jump in.
Go ahead, jump in, please.
Man, listen.
You go ahead.
When it comes to the fans, social media has gave fans way too much clout, too much. Fans think they can just say what they want. Like, again, I was seeing on TikTok where it was before the playoffs, it was a fan. He was, cussing out KD, like literally on the court. I think fans have gotten where you can say what they want because this is not social media. This is real life. But they have merged the two. So I don't say the police, but I think if you do see it, you need to remove them. But I think also as an usher, they don't want to touch a fan because now that fan can turn on them. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if that fan is going to be respectful to walk and leave the arena or turn out, which we've seen both. So it's almost like this fine line. So, I think jaw jack is what we do all day. But I think now it's coming into where the athletes are feeling disrespected. These young athletes, I think the old heads, that was a part of the game. But these young athletes, you ain't going to roll up on me talking trash because I'm going to take to the street. I'm going to they coming literally to the court, to where the fans are sitting, and they're jaw-jacking each other. So it's, it's the way the world is, but these young athletes ain't playing that. They're not taking the high road.
If you know Boston fans, first of all, it's personal with Kyrie. Kyrie played for the Celtics. Kyrie left the Celtics, went to another team, and Boston fans, they little bit, they kind of like Philly fans, so they a little bit antsy, man. So Kyrie knew what was going to happen when he came in that arena. He knew that it was going to be like a lot of pushback. He gave him the bird and kept it pushing. But like I told y'all, as long as you don't put your hands on me or put your hands on, any member of my family, you can say whatever you want. I mean, I know you paid a lot of money for that seat, but it's only there's no way to police it. I don't know how you go to police somebody saying the F word to you or you stink or you suck or just don't be personal and talk about my family or my kids or anything like that or put your hands on me. You know what I mean? Kyrie just took it to his idea was just throwing up the middle finger, which he got fined like $50,000 for, but He made his
That's
point.
That's a drop in the bucket.
It was a
Cover dog.
he put he look at R. Kelly.
I know I'm laughing at that, man. I'm from the old school as a fan. I paid my money.
They paid your money.
I paid my damn money. And you sitting there, you gonna get paid probably $700,000-$800,000 on Monday every week. I don't want to hear this crap.
The first and 15th, Neil. The first and 15th.
Troy point. When you get to the racial slurs, when you
Right.
get to talking about well, I mean, it's how you rate it. Is it racial slurs or family? Because you don't know my mother. So, this is like people been capping on each other mothers. We call it playing the dozens back in the day for years.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So don't bring that in. Because you're gonna get on that butt and talk about your teammates' mom, okay? It's just those heart wrenching out. Your family's in the stands. Okay, I get that. Like Russell Westbrook, when he was going there, calling him Westbrook. Stop it. You are Westbrook. You ain't hit a shot in 2 years.
Exactly.
Shut up. So
Play
my
better.
thing is, I paid my money. If I boo you, that's different. They understand that. To Troy point, you're right. When you get to the point where you're throwing something to them, throwing some vile on them, yes, there should be some laws in place, Goose Dog. You're right. But if I'm booing you, if I'm saying you stink, get the hell out of here, I don't want to hear it. That's part of the program. I done paid my money.
So my question, my follow-up question is this. So Kyrie responded with double birds. Is that acceptable from the players because they get held to a higher standard? You know what I mean? Should players even respond to that stuff knowing that type of behavior is going to take place in the paint?
Again, it's personal with Kyrie. They got mad because he left, and they probably was being a little bit deeper than usual, and they was clouding him. If I was Kyrie, it just depends on what kind of day I'm having. I might have thrown a bird. I might have just said what I had to say in the press conference. But it is what it is. 50,000 ain't nothing to him. So he felt like he needed to throw the bird up, and that was it.
That's what I'm saying. So, granted, should they have a rule where they should act as a player? Now, that's on the team, on their personal conduct policy. Now, I don't know if Kyrie was penalized or fined for that. You guys let me know. But in your opinion, Gooch Dog, if Kyrie put the bird up, and Troy, excuse me, is that really that bad? But granted, he is a player.
Because it's kids in the arena, and the NBA gotta show that they gotta do something. So. And to me, I thought it was funny actually.
Right. But you're right. You're right.
Anybody, NBA still gotta. If they did nothing, the fans would be like, "Oh, the NBA, he could just go throw birds up at us and stuff like that." Yeah, you got just because you got a $5,000 seat, but you got to watch what you're saying too. You can't just defame a man's name and there's no telling what them Boston fans were saying because they can be a little bit borderline racist.
They got history. They got racism.
They got a lot. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. They can be a little racist. So they probably was really, really going ham on him.
They was going nasty. They was saying.
Oh yeah. So I ain't mad at him. He knew he when Kyrie did it, he knew he was gonna have to write that check. And he didn't care. He wanted to get his point across.
Now this happened, and we didn't really mention about this when LeBron was at the Laker game, and he had those two fans ejected.
Right.
What y'all think about that?
Yeah, but the fan was saying that they wish his son died.
Yeah, they was going out of bounds, man. But you know what? To wrap this particular segment up, players always gonna get held to a higher standard, regardless. You know what I mean? The players, the fans, and then even the owners don't get held to the same standard as the players. So Kyrie knew what he was getting into, and he had to pay for it. But I think the NBA, like you said, Troy, was trying to tell him, hey, We get it. It was bad, but you don't want to mess around like that. So we're gonna stay here real quick. Celtics are up 2. Are they up 2-0 or 2-1? I believe. They're up 2-0, right?
2-0.
Are they for real? Are they for real? Do they have the gas to get past Milwaukee? Can they get past Philly? I think that's going to be a tough one for them. But do they have the tools to get to the championship, to the NBA Finals?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They got good defense.
Who was standing their way? Who was standing their way, Troy, after they get past, let's say they get past Brooklyn, which it looks like they got a good chance of doing it right now. So
they have a problem with Milwaukee because they don't have an X factor for Giannis. So that's the problem they will have. Because Robert Williams is coming back this weekend. So if they play the Sixers, they got Robert Williams can give up all 6 of his fouls to MB, and then they got the other dude on the bench. I forgot his name, Greg Williams or something like that. They got another dude to come off the bench, and they got Thea. He used to play for the Celtics. They got him too. So they got fouls to give for MB. They don't have that for MB. I mean, I'm sorry, for Giannis. Because Tatum or Jaylen Brown is going to sit Giannis.
Right.
If they put him down in there with Robert Williams, he's going to get murdered.
Yeah.
So,
Gooch Dog, what matchup would that be? Because right now the Celtics and the Nets is the what? 7-2.
The Celtics and the Nets are 2. Boston's the 2 seed. Brooklyn is the 7 seed.
Right. That's 7-2.
So today you'll get Milwaukee. You'll get the Raptors. So I'm going to back out. I'm going to hand the mic over to Sports Kills Diva. Look like we have a new guest in our studio. Sports Kills, you can have the mic. Go ahead with it.
All right. So yes, I'm going to bring on Coach T. So Coach T is the head coach, the women's head coach of Hocking College. And then we are going to introduce our special guest, which is Peyton Campbell. So I'm going to bring Coach T on. Okay, there she go. Can we see her? I'm going to make sure I'm getting ready to pull down. All right, Coach T, I'm bringing her on now. Sorry for the technical difficulty because I am in the media room of the Nationwide Arena. So there might be a slight lag in our podcast today, but, we're just going to roll with it. All right, Coach T, can you hear us?
I can. Can you guys hear me? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Yep.
Good. How's everybody doing today?
Okay, I'm bringing her back
Good,
on
Coach
again.
T, go.
Okay, I'm waiting for her. I'm bringing her back on now again. I'm waiting to see. Okay, I'm trying to get her to come in.
Well, she was in, Tanya. She
was in.
Yeah.
She was in? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear. Yeah.
There she go.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go. All right, Coach T, can you hear us?
I can. I can hear you. I can see you. Everybody looks good. I see a lot of Cleveland.
I can see her, but I'm like, come on.
So it's going to be a good day.
That's today. The world that we live in.
What's up, Coach?
What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Good.
We can see her.
To have you.
Okay, there she go out of it again. Like, come on, Coach.
Well,
okay, so I'm
Hey, Coach, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How was everything since our last session when we had all the girls signing? That was awesome.
It has. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. It has been amazing. We've received.
Coach, you gotta hear you. You gotta turn your mic on.
Oh, sorry. All right, here we go. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah,
we hear it, Tanya.
We hear. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, since our last show, things have been great. A lot of people have reached out, interested in my program. Just a lot of really fantastic accolades that we've received. We received recognition from our athletic department, from our men's basketball team, and it's just fantastic because the whole purpose of the event was to give I was given some opportunity, to showcase who they are, where they're from, and their families, and just give them an opportunity. And that's really it. So we're just extremely grateful for you guys to be able to give us that platform, and really just show us love.
That's good. So we got a new entry, Miss Campbell.
Yeah, Peyton's down there. I just see her.
Can we see her? Okay, let me bring her in. Okay. I'm gonna bring her in. I think she is in, so I'm gonna bring her in right now.
Oh, there she goes.
There she goes. There we go. All right, look, I love Peyton here.
There we go.
All right. So, Coach T, it looked like Tanya's in transition, fixing some stuff. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself? I've never met you. Obviously, you and Tanya have a relationship and everything, and you
Sure.
Troy, so that way we can kind of fill everybody in on what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, first off, thank you guys for having me on the show today. My name is Coach T, Trevicia Franklin. I'm originally from Columbus, Ohio. Graduated from Brookhaven High School. I played 4 years at Indiana State University. After graduating from school in 2015, I played in Europe, Germany, and Spain for about a year and a half, 2 years. And then after graduation, I started coaching and, building relationships. And I was promoted to head coach at Hocking College in August of 2020. Prior to that, I was the head girls basketball coach at Mifflin High School. And that's really about it. I mean, I'm a basketball fanatic. I love football, basketball. I love the development of kids a lot more though. So that's really it about me. We've got one of my former players here, Peyton Campbell. She has been a significant and a great, not only addition to our program, but she's one of the first athletes under me who has transitioned from junior college into Division II NAIA school. I believe the school she's at, Culver Stockton, is in Missouri. It's the number 1 Division II school for psychology. So she's an outstanding young lady, and I'm excited to have her here.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
One of the things I was looking forward to discussing with Ms. Campbell. Welcome to the show, Ms. Campbell.
Thank you.
Talking about what's it like being like a student athlete. So me and my brother knew quite a few athletes who went to Ohio State, and we kind of saw their lifestyle. It seemed kind of stressful. They were going through a lot of stuff. Most of it had to do with just finding ways to just live, eating, going on dates, having relationships and stuff. So what does that look like? I'm not going to tell my age. What does it look like in the 2022?
To be honest, I don't really when I came out here, I knew my focus was going to be on my athletics and my academics. So I built relationships with teammates, and I made some great friends, great roommates that I'm going to have next year and stuff. But my focus has been on my academics and athletics with our schedule. It is kind of hard to balance both, but I think I've made it work really well, and the coaches and my teammates have been really helpful as well.
So would you say it's very rigorous or demanding, as far as getting up to practice really early and extending the whole day?
Yes. Our regular schedule, we would have class throughout the day. We would go, right now we're in postseason, so I have class 10 to 11:15, 1:15 to 3, and then I go straight to weights at 3:30, and then we have open gym right after that. So our schedule is very tight and very compacted, but we have to make it work for everybody. Everybody's classes.
And I have one more question. I'm sure the panel has other questions too. So as far as what position do you play?
I'm a guard. I'm a wing. I really play, for Coach T, I play 1 through 5.
And who do you we all got somebody we try to follow. Who do you look at? Not necessarily take their game, but take some really good foundation to build your game up.
Honestly, Coach T, to be honest, before her, like my high school coach was really helpful as well. But once I met Coach T, like the way she carries herself and the way she works, I really admire. So I've been trying to look at her and ask her questions about stuff like that as well.
Okay. All right.
You got a favorite WNBA player, Peyton?
Let me think.
Go ahead and tell us. Tell us, it's Coach T.
It's Coach T. It's Coach T. It's definitely Coach T for sure. But
Or who's your favorite player now? Who do you pattern your game after in the WNBA? Who do you see in the WNBA and be like, I want to play like her?
I really like the way goodness, there's so many players. Sabrina, I really like her. I like her game. I like the way she carries herself and the way she gets everyone involved. I really like that. So I'd say her right now.
Cool. What do you feel like your strengths and weaknesses are on the court?
Strength-wise, I don't want to be selfish and say that my shooting, but I feel like my shooting and my ability to communicate has been like my strengths, and it has gotten better since I've been out here at college. And weaknesses when I came out here, like defensive scheme-wise, like I know defensive schemes and stuff, but out here and at a bigger level, it is much different. It's much more like I guess chaotic. There's a lot more schemes and I've had to learn how to learn players as well. So like matchups, like we'll go do like scouting reports and stuff, which I haven't really done before. But so I think that like just learning those and trying to work on those is like something I need to work on.
Cool.
Sorry.
Go ahead. My bad, Cyber Dog.
Sorry. My bad, Troy. I dropped in and out. I had a quick question. I want to start with Coach T. Once again, my bad. Thank you for joining us today. Coach, you seem like you've been in Central Ohio for a good portion of your life, right? Were you born in Ohio, in the Columbus area?
I actually was not. I was actually born in Cincinnati. I moved to Columbus when I was 2 years old. So my extended family, they all live in Cincinnati. So they are UC fans. They love the Reds. I am an Ohio State Buckeye. I'm a Browns fan. I'm not a Bengals fan. So, partly, I'm right in the middle. But no, I've been in Columbus my entire life. I mean, I've traveled around the world, but this will always be home for me.
I got to put you on the spot on a few tough questions here. That's probably why they dropped me off. No, I'm just kidding. Coach T, on it, kind of give me like, when you scheming for a team, kind of walk me through your game plan on when how you get your team ready, on how, you look at your opponent, and, if you could just start with that.
Sure. That's a great question. I'd say the biggest thing for us that we do at Hawking, our scouting, it doesn't start days before the game. It starts at least a couple months prior to. I'm a big researcher, so I research coaches, I research their opponents, I look at their schedule, kind of see wins and losses, because to me that shows pattern, and a lot of our schedules are very similar. So for example, we are in the OCCAC athletic conference, and a lot of the teams that we play, our opponents play the same non-conference games. So the same challenges that we face, I would think that they would face as well. So when I pull that film, the first thing I look at is their defense. I look at how often they're switching in and out of zone, how many girls they have in their rotation, if they've got a 5-man rotation, if they got a 7-man rotation, and basically that's how I do my scouting. I look at points per game. I look at what guards can distribute the ball better. I look at who are some of their better rebounders, because to me, those are actual threats. When you reach the collegiate level, everybody's going to score. So I'm not actually trying to look at ways to stop you from scoring, because you're going to score anyway. But I look at those detailed things like like rebounding and steals. I see how many points they're averaging per game thus far. And when we go into the second half of the season, it gets more challenging because everybody has made some sort of adjustment. So, for example, this past season, we beat every team in our conference. We beat everybody. When we got in the second half of the season, I tried to tell my kids, this is what is going to happen because, again, when at the collegiate level, coaches study film. I study film night and day. They study habits. They study routine, things like that. They picked us apart in all of our habits, and we weren't able to mentally make adjustments because we were so used to, okay, we beat you once, we're going to beat you again. But at this level, you have to constantly make adjustments, whether it be in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. We lost at least 5 games this past season by a margin of between 2 to 5 points. That comes down to turnovers, rebounds, steals, those little things. So that's how I do my scouting report. I don't really too much get into which kid is scoring this amount of points. I mean, honestly, unless you're averaging 25 plus, everybody's the same to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of how I do my scouting.
Great.
So,
Well, thank you for answering that. And I just got one quick question for Peyton. Thank you for jumping on with us again.
Thank you.
You seem like you have a coach that has high expectations. How do you handle that?
I just try to take it like step by step. Like I like my stuff broken down. Like she has high expectations. So what are her goals for me to meet those expectations and work up through those? And then eventually it'll be taken care of.
Okay, good.
So I try to just break it down and go step by step instead of this is the big goal, but how do I get there?
Hey, Neil, that was a good question. I'm going to actually extend that just a little bit further, Peyton. So as a point guard, you like the quarterback on the court. You're an extension of your coach. You know what I mean? You're out there to get everybody to execute. There's a level of leadership that comes along with that. So when stuff don't necessarily go the way you want, like she said, that one game stuff was kind of like getting out of hand. How do you kind of like bring everybody back in? You know what I mean? Are you somebody? Are you a motivator by verbally, or are you somebody who goes out there and say, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and throw some buckets in there and get everybody to come behind me? How do you do that?
I think for me, it's a mixture of both because everybody, like ever since I played, everyone does kind of look at me like I'm always one of the leaders because I'm always the one that's speaking. But when things aren't going right, I do try to just bring everybody together and get them in a huddle for a second. Just be like, guys, listen, we're cool. And just go to each player and be like, this is what's going on with you. This is how you should fix it. Like, not like yelling or screaming, just trying to talk to them. And then just go out there and get a few buckets. And normally when someone scores, it lifts everyone up. So it just kind of transitions to everybody else.
Hey, Peyton, what are your goals if you don't go to the WNBA or go overseas and play? Where are you getting your degree in, and what do you want to do after college?
Right now, I am majoring in criminal justice and minoring in psychology. I have an associate's in criminal justice and associate's in criminology already. But
That's
once I
all.
finish here, I do want to go to law school and study family law.
There you go. Good job.
Excellent. Coach T, one last thing I got to ask you. When you see other teams, I know in the heat of battle, you know, how do you manage that? I mean, to keep your eye on the prize. You know, I know like in life, it's a lot of changes, and definitely in the world of sports, definitely within that, I want to say the 60 minutes or so that you're playing, you mentioned adjustments, which is huge in the game. But let's say like when your team is down, how do you keep them motivated? What are some of the things or tips that you do to kind of keep them focused on the game and not worry about what's happening within the game?
Sure. Another fantastic question too. The biggest thing for me, honestly, is their mental. If you can withstand mentally, win or loss, it'll help us grow as a unit. And when I say the mental aspect, because the game can get so crazy and there are so many different adjustments all the time, it's really hard for somebody at and I'm going to say at the junior college level, because I'm a Division I athlete. I have a Division I mind. When I played unconsciously. That's how I was coached. That's just how I was raised, where I never reacted. It was always the next play. And that was a big issue for us as well, is getting the kids to understand that the game can go 5 minutes in a college basketball game with a shot clock is a long time, even if you're down by 20 points. Mm-hmm. I've seen way worse. So just really trying to stay encouraging. I'm very intense, like very intense. I'm very passionate. My kids know, and just letting them know that I trust them in that moment. It's hard for kids to play in a hostile environment if they don't know that they have the confidence of their coach to go out there and get the job done. So I feel like I've always tried to instill that confidence in them. All of my kids have the green light. Mm-hmm. All of them. I mean, they're not going to go out there and just jack anything up, but I give all of them the green light. Really just to build their confidence so they can mentally withstand in times of adversity, because we had so many games like that, and it takes time. COVID really affected us just from a social standpoint. Our kids not being out there, they weren't able to play AAU ball, and they weren't really able to go out there and really learn how to grind. Mm-hmm. Because basketball, it's an all-year sport. It's not just a winter sport. You've got to practice, and the off season is your best time to really get better. And because our kids really didn't have the opportunity to go in the gym and polish up those insecurities, just from a fundamental standpoint, right hand, left hand, Euro step back three. Everybody thinks they're Steph Curry these days, but just working on their fundamentals, that's where we lacked. Was really just in our fundamental game, and that's really about it. Just making sure that their mental is right, and just keeping their confidence high.
Excellent. Well, I'm gonna say, just talking to you, got a fan right now. So
thank you.
I'm gonna have to come out of retirement myself. Get out there and try to work it out.
Lord, right. hey, Coach, see, I do have a question for you. That Brittany Griner situation kind of like it didn't sit too well with me. Like it bothered me. And you played overseas, and some people said overseas was cool. You know what I mean? They said folks treated them well. Some folks, I would say the majority of folks that played overseas said they got treated pretty well. What was your experience?
My experience was great. Germany was probably my favorite destination. My dad was in the military. He was in the Army, and he was stationed in Germany. So he gave me kind of a brief synopsis of what I would see walking through the airport. Their police are Army people with AK-47s just walking around. So seeing that regularly was different for me. But the environment was very welcoming. When I was in college, I had plantar fasciitis in both of my feet. So I will say there was a big difference in like the athletic training staff. Like, athletes are very spoiled here. I'll say that. The athletic trainers, the medical staff, they're very intentional. Physical therapy, things like that. It wasn't that big down there, and that's partly why I don't play anymore. I really needed an elite level medical staff to make sure my feet were where they needed to be, and because there was a lack of that, I kind of had to, you know what I'm saying? I had to hang my sneakers up, but it was a positive experience. I never had any issues, and while I was there, I traveled, Paris and France and Hungary and Iceland, just get on the train and go. So it is a very unfortunate experience that she is dealing with. But that's the reality. When you go to another country, it can be sunshine and rainbows, or it can be the complete opposite. And I just think that, as unfortunate as it is, I do pray that she makes it back home safe. Outside of basketball, just being a person who's done great things probably for her community, in the Phoenix Mercury. And I know her family misses her. So, we definitely hope that she makes it back home safe.
Yeah. I have one more question. This was a Peyton. So Peyton, Yeah, I checked your stats, man. You putting in some buckets and some rebounds. So what's your goals for the upcoming year? You going more points? You going more rebounds? You going more assists?
Honestly, right now, like my goal for over the summer is defense, to be honest with you. So I would like to see my steals increase, my rebounds increase, but mostly like my communication increase because I am talkative, but out here it's a lot different. Everybody talks, so I just have to find a way to separate myself in that area. But yeah.
Peyton, have you ever had any problem trying to get or motivate a teammate within the game? Somebody that may be having a hard time. What are some of your methods? You know, within the game. You know, you on the court. You know, things happen. You got a teammate that's struggling. What are some of the things you do to help get them motivated?
I think similar to what Coach T said, let them know that you do have confidence in them because in a game, you can't pull them to the side and be like, hey, like you're good. So when they make a good play, just a pat on the back or a congratulations or a good job is going to go a long way. Like I said, seeing someone get a bucket is going to make everybody else come up as well. So seeing someone who's been struggling get a bucket, and I've noticed that like out here, everybody will hype them up and be like, all right, go again, like go get another one. So that's really important to me. Just every time they do something good, just let them know that they're doing really well.
Excellent. Great. Thank you.
Hey, Peyton, I got a couple of light questions on the way out. What are your hobbies off the court? And what, you got to answer this good. What is your favorite basketball movie?
My favorite basketball movie is Coach Carter, for sure. I feel like that's
There you go.
kind of basic, but it's definitely Coach Carter. But outside of basketball, I'm not going to lie, I don't really do much. Because out here, like I said, I am really busy. Like if I'm not in class, I'm doing homework or I'm in the gym for workouts. But I mean, it would be basic to say I hang out with my friends and whatever, but that is really all I do. If I'm not in class or in the gym, I'm with my friends out here. So
Cool. So that is telling me that you really focus.
I think that's dope. Sweet.
Yep.
I actually have a question for Peyton, and this is just me, just being a coach. What is the biggest difference and or challenge that you have faced transitioning from the junior college realm into a Division II NAIA program like Culver Stockton? What are the differences that you see, and what advice would you have for any of obviously our current players or someone who's interested in transitioning, from one program to the next?
like we talked about before, like Coach T has prepared me really well. She told me like the difference is really going to lie in the strength and the speed and the height and the mindset of the players you're going to play. So they're bigger, they're faster, they're like offensive wise. Not everyone's just looking to shoot. Some people know their role. Their role is not to shoot. Their role is to rebound and play defense. So people know their roles better. Like not everyone is looking to score. So you have to be able to figure out who's looking to score, who's looking to rebound and find those players. But transition wise for me, like it's been really smooth. Like I said, like my coaches and my teammates have prepared me really well. They told me what to expect, and that's exactly what happened when I got out here and I got to playing with my teammates and seeing the girls that they play. But for someone else coming up, I just think learning to study the game, like not just watching basketball, but watching players and what they like to do and when they like to do it. So I think that's the biggest part is just studying and like developing like a better understanding of how this game truly works. Like it's not just people running up and down the court shooting a bucket. So
Sure. And Coach Bergen and I obviously have different coaching styles. I knew that when we went on your visit to Culver. What do you think are some of the things that you took from Hawking that allowed you to transition into Culver?
I think your emphasis on honestly just working, to be honest, because that's what she looks for in her players is players who are willing to work and willing to sacrifice what they're used to compared to what is actually needed. Because when I came out here, she had told me what my role was going to be. So immediately I focused on that. So I think for new players coming in, figuring out what a coach wants from you and focusing on that instead of trying to do your own thing and show her what you have. Just do what she needs and do what they need. And that's where you'll be successful.
She's taking it all in, Coach.
Good. Listen, I just so we're clear. I know we're gonna wrap up here soon, but just to be clear, Peyton has been one of the best athletes I've coached, and I've been at Hawking. Technically, I've coached her for 1.5 years, but her character is her best quality. She can shoot the ball lights out. She's very trustworthy. She's like she's very boring. I love boring people. She stays out of trouble. She's in class on time. She's a 4.0 kid. She's like the icing on the cake. So
Great.
I just wanted everybody to know how fantastic her character is. And honestly, I personally believe that is partly why she is at Culver Stockton, just based off of her character. So for any athletes who are wanting to play basketball in college, please get your character in check, because either that will be a way to get you somewhere outside of basketball, or it'll keep you from that opportunity just solely based off of the way that you treat people, the way that you talk to people. And she has been an outstanding young woman. This opportunity actually was presented to her from our football coach at Hocking College. Craig Moore, he's a graduate of Quincy University in Missouri. He and her current coach, Coach Bergen, they went to school together. And because she's such an outstanding young woman, just based off of that relationship, it didn't have anything to do with me. Just so everybody knows, it had nothing to do with me or who I knew. This is a football coach who had a relationship with someone, and Peyton has been exceptional from the moment she stepped on campus. So as soon as that phone call was made, she is the first person he thought of, and now she's there. And that's one of the biggest takeovers, that I've learned from her is just character. She just has really fantastic character.
That's awesome. Somebody
It's
speak
just
that of you, Peyton, and just talking to you, hearing your poise, and to you, Coach. Like I said, I mean, it's just an awesome experience talking to both of you guys, and I hope wish you guys well in the upcoming season. And you touched on one thing, Coach. I thought about that question about COVID. I want to ask you. You kind of answered already how you guys made it through that crazy. I mean, the pandemic the world went through, and it definitely affected the sports world.
Yeah.
So coming out of it, talk to me about that, or kind of go a little bit of depth about that COVID-19 experience, if you could.
Man, COVID was such an eye opener. It affected so many different things. Just from a recruiting standpoint, we had to recruit virtually, and not being able to be in an intimate space with a recruit where you're not able to technically bring them on campus, where they can see your face and feel your energy, and where they can see the facility. It negatively affects your program. Not only that, not being able to high five in practices and not being able to shake hands after the game, the whole sportsmanship thing, it kind of psychologically puts you in a chokehold. And that's why I talked about it earlier, because my first season coaching Peyton, I felt extremely robbed, because I think we played 9 total games. Every game, a majority of our games were canceled because either schools, they canceled their whole athletic program, like Sinclair and Dayan. They completely canceled their whole athletic program. There were probably 4 or 5 schools like that. And because Hocking is a 2-year community college, players like Peyton who are wanting to transition out, that either need film or whatever, it affects them. 9 games is not enough to really showcase what you have, unless you really out here like should have been D1 and you just didn't have the grades or whatever. But from an exposure standpoint, it affected our kids drastically, because coaches weren't able to come in and see them and making a phone call it didn't go as far as a face-to-face visit would be. So that's partly why when Coach Bergen called and she was interested in Peyton, me and Peyton just hopped in the car and I just drove her there. Like, and I don't drive anywhere, just so we're clear. I don't like to drive. I'm riding passenger every single time. I don't care who's driving. We drove 9, almost 10 hours to Culver, stayed overnight, and it was a great experience because it's what's necessary to get us back on track. That's partly one of the sacrifices that I believe is beneficial. Just do it. At the end of the day, somebody's got to do it. Why not be me? So it definitely affected us, but we're getting back on track. We just signed almost 17 kids.
Wow.
For the class of 2022, and
Wow.
we'll have 5 returners. It'll be the first time our roster has been above 12 to 14 kids in almost 4 or 5 years.
Great.
So, yeah, I'm grateful to answer your question.
That's like you weathered the storm. Sound like.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent. Anyone else?
Well, cool. Well, you know what? I'm going to thank both of you guys again. Appreciate you guys. Wishing you both the best. Coach T, you are an influencer, great coach on and off the court for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Just want to encourage you to keep doing what you're doing. Peyton, I see great things for you on and off.
No doubt. Good job. Great job.
No doubt.
Thank you.
I'm sure you're going to meet your steals goal. You can go ahead and add little points. Don't go to the steals. Just go and get it all.
Get us some tickets. Get us some tickets.
Right.
Right. We need some tickets so we can go. Yes.
Yeah.
And we hope you guys come back on the show for sure.
Yes,
we hope
for
you guys
sure.
come back.
And
Me and Miss Kelly, we've got a couple ideas that we're kind of brewing up. I really want to open up my program to the entire world. I want everybody to see what the process is and how it's done and how cutthroat it truly can be. We're very transparent over at Hocking, so you guys are more than welcome.
That signing day you had was awesome. It was awesome.
Right.
Yeah. We got to do that again next year. You got to bring them back next year so we can do it again.
Listen, I'll be lying if I said this is the first time I've had to start turning people down. This is how many kids I have just in my email that are just interested in the program. And obviously, from a roster standpoint, you can't keep 50 kids on. That ain't what I do. I want everybody to play and I want everybody to have an opportunity. So partly that's why we are, seeing the success is really because of you guys. So thank you guys as well.
Oh, you're welcome.
That is amazing. Glad to help because it was a dope event. And just to see to see the girls even after the signing day, to see how they were still taking pictures. Their parents were as involved. And Peyton, I'm Sports Kel's diva, and me and Coach, we just thank you for coming on the show. And again, women's basketball I call it excellence, and to see how much it has grown. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck
to both of y'all. Yep.
Thank you. Y'all have a good Saturday.
Thank you.
All right.
Man, that was so dope.
Yeah. I'm impressed. Damn. Hey, I gotta ask Troy a question. What beer is that, man? You looking at that glass? Somebody go. What the hell you got in there, partner? A little old English 800.
It ain't no OE.
Oh, ain't no OE. Graduated.
This is some of the Miller Ultra.
There you go. Okay. Michelob Ultra.
Hey,
my Sports Carol Diva glass is not clean yet, so I gotta wash it. So I had to pull out my
the old treasure.
The old faithful. Huh?
Hey Neil, you and Troy asked some very, very good questions, man. It seemed like Coach T and Peyton really appreciated y'all asking those questions. Tanya, thank you. That was a great opportunity for me. To meet some college athletes and a coach, man. That was really cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
And
gotta do it again, man. You gotta do stuff like that on a regular, Tanya.
Well, listen, I'm ready for it. I just been kind of waiting for you. Now I know I'm gonna start pushing because again, when we think about athletes, really, what me and Coach T talk about is giving athletes a platform. because a lot of athletes, when they go into, on the collegiate level, they've never had experience talking on radio shows. And you kind of see that when they're live at a game and they have to now talk, it prepares them. So yes, I'm excited. And Coach T, she wanted to be on. She was pumped all week to be on the show and talk to you guys. And I'm glad that, you made her feel at home. So yeah, we're going to keep this going,
Football,
give these kids
football signing season is coming up too.
Right.
Let's go. Let's
Cleveland
go.
Browns. Look, we can talk Cleveland Browns. I mean, she's just a fantastic person. She's a Browns fan too.
Yes. So we argue about that every day at school about Cowboys and Browns. So, and she's excited for Watson. So yeah,
I'm happy for her because that signing day it helped her program elevate a little bit, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. And again,
she turning away people.
Yeah, she turned away. She said that that Monday she was like, she had, her email was like booming, and I can see some of the tracking just from the different, people tagging us, tagging her in posts, wanting more information. So again, it's just visibility. That's, again, at the end of the day, is giving athletes other opportunities to talk about what they love, and and that's just a great thing. And if we could be a part of that, that's what I love. That's the passion that we bring.
Absolutely.
I'm down.
All right. Well, we're going to do like a little quick transition. We're going to stay in the basketball a little bit. I did really want to get into this today. I want to talk about CP3. Just want to talk about him a little bit, man. Hey, Phoenix was highly chosen to get to the finals and possibly win, man. It's like
I got them. They my favorite.
Every time Cyberdog CP3 is on the team, some weird stuff happened. One year they had where he was with the Clippers. I think he got injured and there was an injury, and now Devin Booker's out, man. I really feel bad for the guy because right now they got him ranked as one of the top, I think they said top 5 point guards. But I don't think that's gonna hold water because he don't have no chip, man. So does he have to win? Does he have to win to be elevated to that status of a top 5 point guard?
Okay, well, let's break down the top 5 point guards in your eye right now.
Are we talking all time?
Yeah, we talking all time. Yes. So we talking John Stockton. We talking Magic
Johnson.
We talking Isaiah Thomas.
I'm about to say, if you ain't say Isaiah, you're gonna get jumped in the street. Okay. You know a lot of folks in Detroit down here. Go ahead.
Who else we got top 5?
No, go ahead. He on a good roll. He said Stockton, Isaiah,
Magic.
My man, the head coach for the Nets.
Jason Kidd.
Steve Nash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got a championship. Yeah.
Tony Parker.
Yeah.
Tony Parker got rings.
So can he sit in that room with them cats?
He's in there, man. He in there. And that's the unfortunate about sports. They probably would have said that about LeBron if he didn't get a chance. I mean, I think we had this argument earlier and during football season about the chip, about who's the greatest. And you that's part of it. I'm sorry. And it's unfortunate to him because he had nothing to do with these people getting hurt. Last year, he was there. They were there. Mm-hmm. But if it weren't for that Greek freak, he would be in there.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But to your point, to be considered as a top 5, yes. His numbers gonna get him in that argument anyway.
He's gonna go to the Hall of Fame, but
his numbers alone gonna get him in there.
But Gucci's question is he a top 5?
Without a chip, Neil.
Yeah.
So all these names you got championship.
Yeah.
Well, Allen Iverson ain't in there. You ain't say Allen Iverson.
He don't have a championship.
He don't have no chip.
Well, what does numbers say? His
numbers don't say he in the top 5. Look at Tanya. Tanya knows. Tanya is with me. You know what, Neil? Listen. I want to hear. Tanya.
What y'all talking about?
I want to hear what she got to say. I want to hear it. That's what I want to hear.
CP, I mean, he plays, but he won't be there. He's just like Charles Barkley. He got the numbers. He got everything, the charisma. He does all the, off the season. He gets all the endorsements. But especially now, You got to have that chip. And I think that's why Charles Barkley talks about, why they can't put him in that top 5 because he never got that chip. He was up.
FYI, John
That's
Stockton
why
didn't have a championship either.
Well, he ain't in there.
But he ain't in there.
Yeah, but he's the leader in assists all time.
He ain't in there.
So what do you
I
think?
know who's right behind him?
Right.
Chris Paul.
What do you think he's gonna be at in points? What do you think Chris Paul gonna be at in points?
He can
top
do it. He can't.
Is
Troy,
John Stockton, Jason Kidd, Chris Paul.
Jason Kidd ain't got no chip.
So he's top 5. So who would you knock out the top 5 to put Chris Paul in?
That's what I'm saying. It's hard. It's hard to do that. It's hard to do that if you're gonna eliminate these people because they don't have a chip. It's hard to do that. Because
I didn't say that. I'm only going by what the question was. The question was.
I guess my point I'm about to make is, the criteria is gonna have to change. Now you saying top 5 all time, right? They're gonna base that on numbers. They're gonna base it on numbers. They ain't gonna care about the championships. It's gonna be based on numbers.
So just as a point of reference, this is gonna help our conversation. A website. I don't know if they good, but so far legit. They got Magic 1, so deserving. There's no question.
There's no question. No question.
Oscar Robinson, number 2.
Yeah, Big O, the Big O,
Mr. Triple Double himself. Okay,
that's right.
Jerry West, the logo.
Oh, mean ass Jerry West. Yeah,
you cannot. Steph Curry is a point guard.
He got a chip. He gonna go down as the greatest of all time.
And Isaiah Thomas. But right now, CP3, he's not there. He's not there.
If he get one chip, all it takes is one championship. He's in there.
He's not there.
Well, they won last night.
Yeah.
Isaiah's next. All right.
Can he get the chip?
Now let me ask y'all this question: how long? Now, let's go back to that, if you don't mind, before we go any further. What is the situation with the Phoenix Suns? Because you enlightened me on something. How long Booker is out? Because I got them to win it.
He's had hamstring. This is not the first time he's had hamstring injuries.
Yeah, it was his right hamstring this time. Last time it was his left hamstring.
The last time he was injured, he was out for 7 games. All right, so you figure in a playoffs series for 7 games, that could be almost 2 weeks just because in the playoffs. So it's a good chance he can come back. All right,
they can get this win off against New Orleans, but they won't get it off against the next team that they face.
Hey, right. Now, Troy, the West is water weak. The West is, let me repeat, without LeBron being in there, they got the golden ticket to get to the finals.
No, man.
Okay? They got it. So they could, who will stop them? Who else? They need somebody else.
Hey, look, I'm going to keep it real.
You can't even think about
John Durant is doing some incredible stuff right now.
He's too young.
I've really been watching the games, man. They were down almost 30 points. And
I like him.
They was down 30 points in the second half.
Thank you.
I like him. I like John Morant. But CP3, one thing about him, he one of the dirtiest players walking in the league right now. And you know it.
I told y'all last week. I said the problem that's going to come up with John Morant is him facing Chris Paul, and if he can deal with Chris Paul's antics.
Oh, he gonna elbow him in the throat. He gonna kick him between the legs. And the camera ain't gonna catch none of it. That's how cold
it might be Ingram and McCollum against him.
That's right.
The series is tied up.
Oh my gosh, man.
But granted, I was about to put my bets out there. And Troy, I'll let you off the hook. I want to throw this back. I'm sorry. You did beat me on that one, but I was about to go back, Troy, and I should have got my $20 back from you. I should have.
What?
When Kansas came out there with
you have my number.
I should have did. I don't know why. That was my bad. I don't want to say
condolences.
I want to say I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to double or nothing, and I'm winning.
I'm sorry, but I won't let you know, Troy. I'm not going to let you off the hook. I'm just waiting for this. I'm waiting. In the NBA playoffs, you got to wait for the dust to settle. This first round is a lot of dust, but when that second round hit, that's when it gets serious.
Y'all, we just ain't even talking about the Warriors, so they just done now. They up 3-0 on Denver.
Man, yeah, that's tough.
And now let's go there. I'm sorry, moderator. Excuse me, Gooch Dog. I hope I'm not trying to step over. I don't know what's next on your list there. But Golden State, I think that's a talking point right there. Golden State.
We just ain't talking
Hey,
about
there he
it.
is.
What's up, man?
There? Golden State is a talking point. What do y'all think? Now, I am a little worried about Golden State. Now, I'm going to be real with you. Now, if there's anybody that could put CP3 out in the pasture, it's Golden State.
Always. It's always Steph Curry.
And it really, and if you look at anybody in the West that could possibly beat a team in the East, it's two. I would say Phoenix if they're healthy, and Golden State. Now, I'm with you. I like the little young stuff. I like the John Morant. I like him. I like that little young fever. But can they stand them old, dirty old men now, man? Them old, you know what I'm saying? Remember when we was younger, we played an old man on the court. You going to run around him. You going to jump over him. Then he going to trip you. Then he going to hit you in the ribs. He going to catch you. You know, he going to say something to you, get you off your game. I don't know if he's ready for that. And that's why I was talking about. I think that goes to the point where Troy was making about CP3. He'll do that. You know, he's a crafty.
He's a veteran.
He's a veteran.
Right.
He's a crafty veteran. But I want to say, you know, I hate to say it. I'm gonna let my hate on Golden State go away, but they got a team, man. They got a squad. They got a hell of a squad. They just slipped up and got a squad again, man. So I guess I want to know what y'all think. Give me your projection on the first.
You got to remember, everybody in Golden State is getting healthy. So remember, Draymond Green been out half the season.
That's right.
And I ain't got to tell you about Klay Thompson. He just came back. He just found his rhythm. And Jordan Poole has just came up as like the third leg now.
Sure did.
He's starting. So
you know what? And Draymond, people underestimate Draymond's impact on the game, man.
Did you see that play?
But he does stuff on that court that changes the game.
That don't show
Draymond. Don't you tell me nothing about no Draymond Green.
It don't show up in the stat line, Neil. Hey, look, Neil,
Soccer Dog, I ain't the biggest Draymond fan. I hear you. I feel your pain. But when he doesn't show up on the stat line.
Right.
No, he don't.
So his defense, that defensive play he made against Jokic when he ripped the ball, don't show up. I mean, the rip is going to show up, but it changed the flow. That 2 minutes in the game changed the flow, and they won the game.
That's right.
Denver had the game.
He like Dennis Rodman in a way. He a Rodman. He got that Rodman type.
He says that he's the best defender of all time.
It's true. Hey, I got a couple points I want to get to.
He got two chips. He might get it. Go ahead, Gooch.
I got a couple points I really want to get to. I want to talk about Deebo Samuel right quick, if y'all don't mind. That kind of came out of nowhere with him requesting a trade from San Francisco. I thought he was in a good place. He was productive.
I hate that
offense. But now what? I don't think he's going to be the same player if you move him out of that offense, out of that situation.
I disagree.
It's not him being in a good place. It's him seeing everybody else getting paid, and he want to get paid.
That's why he leaked that. That's why he leaked that contract.
So him, DK Metcalf, they had the same agent. So DK Metcalf, if you listen to him, he ain't too happy. He wasn't happy about Russell Wilson leaving. And who gonna be a quarterback? Baker?
Ooh, they don't want Baker. They don't want Baker. You know what?
That's another conversation. We ain't got enough time on this show right now. We ain't got enough time on the show to go down that hole.
So he sees a writing on the wall. DK Metcalf is saying, "Look, I ain't gonna get no contract with this new quarterback coming in.
Right.
I need to strike now while the fire is hot."
That's right.
That's what Debo is doing right now.
Yeah,
Debo like, I'm out of here.
They are printing money right now in the NFL.
Yes.
They've been printing. You know what? The owners, the dirty dogs, all that money them they had over the years, they didn't want to give it up. Now they forced to give it up. That TV money is out in the open. To Sports Kill Diva point, social media didn't change everything. It's nothing hidden no more. There's nothing. Everything is right out in the open. So
San Francisco don't want to give Debo that money because they see him as a wide receiver, not a quarterback. He wants quarterback money. So what he does
what is that though?
But what Debo does is quarterback-ish. He runs the ball. He goes out for the pass. He got hazard pay. One hit, he hurt. He trying to stop. He trying to start now. He want to get his pay. You see what I'm saying, Cyber Dog?
Right.
He's playing.
You got a good point. It's what he is the way that was playing him.
The way they're playing him, he needs hazard pay.
Right.
He like, look, y'all got me out here doing everything. One hit could end my career. That ain't gonna happen to Garoppolo.
No, it ain't.
You know what I mean? That's gonna happen to me. I got to get paid.
Now, you know what I was about to say. I hate we paid Amari Cooper that money. I'll be honest with you, because I sure would take Debo over Amari Cooper. I hate to say it.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. I looked at Debo and I was in the playoffs. And one thing about this last year playoffs, we was talking about it. It exposed so much of who's the real ballers out.
Ooh,
and then you start looking at your own team like, you know what? I don't think I need this dude. He ain't doing what that guy doing. Debo, man, I'm telling you right now, he single-handedly pulled San Fran out. It wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo.
What?
They put Debo in the backfield, bruh. They got him in the backfield running plays. Like, literally handing him the ball off. The only other wide receiver doing that in the league is old boy in Atlanta. What was his name? Patterson? Patterson? Cordell Patterson is the only other wide receiver that line up in the backfield.
Right. So that might
be. He ain't no Debo.
Hey, well, you know, the NFL is a copycat league.
Debo could take the ball
Debo gonna get that money.
Sure could.
Yeah. You know why? Yeah. And know why he gonna get that money is because he putting it out there again. Public opinion pays, and you see he leaked it, and now he got, you know, because now he beefing on Twitter with AJ Brown. So again, you gotta get on that Twitter. That Twitter is where it's at. This is where they I'm telling you, they put it out there and they let the public opinion start taking over. And what happens? Next thing you know, you have Adam Schessler talking about, you know, breaking news. And then what he get paid for?
So the question is, what's San Francisco gonna do? You take Debo away, who they got? Kittle?
Nobody. Because to me,
Ayaku? What's the other? Ayaku? That's the other wide receiver.
That's it.
No,
that's it.
Dabo's he the roster.
You back in the lottery. If you San Francisco, you don't even know who your quarterback gonna be. Y'all don't even know about y'all pick. Y'all don't even know about Garoppolo. Garoppolo talking about, look, I already know that I'm about to get traded, but whatever.
Right.
I mean, right now, you're right, man. That this money is off the chain. So you think about, it all started with my man Cheetah. You know, it's a copycat league. Cheetah walked out. How much money Cheetah got in Miami?
I don't even know. It was ridiculous.
It didn't start with him. It started with Devontae Adams.
That's right.
Both of them.
Devontae Adams and him.
That's right.
So they looking at how much? 100 plus?
They both got $100 million.
No, I thought it got more than that because I know Cleveland just paid
Denzel Ward 100.
Denzel Ward as a DB, 100 million. Okay.
What y'all think San Francisco gonna do? That is the question of the hour.
They can't. Their hands is tied. They gotta let them go.
Yeah.
They gotta let them go.
They back in the lottery.
They gotta let them go. But you know what's so messed up about the NFL? There's always somebody coming up next. This year, what's the prime position that's being filled this year only because of the athletes that's coming out?
Hey, I would think what?
Receiver.
This draft class, receivers they all sick.
Wide receiver
46. That's ridiculous.
Lord of mercy. But, if I can run a 4.3 right now, I'll be rich.
So check this out. I got one last topic, guys, and I thought I was actually gonna talk boxing, but it's like
boxing,
but it's not. No, it's Mike Tyson.
That's boxing.
It's Mike Tyson.
Let's go. Let's talk about that. Come on, Coach.
Mike craziness.
Because it was a version of when keeping it real goes wrong.
But why is it? But Cyberdog, why is it crazy? You badgered me on the plane
in a small space,
and I told you to stop repeatedly before I bashed you.
Man, he smoked that ooh-wee, boy. He smoked some crazy shit.
Now, granted, he got him back, but understand, Mike, and I could be wrong, Troy, Gooch, y'all tell me, and Tanya, is when you're a boxer, I believe your hands are registered. I could be wrong. I believe your hands
as weapons.
As weapons. I'm sorry.
So what? You supposed to pull out a gun and I ain't supposed to do nothing because my guns is
no, I ain't saying that. I ain't saying that now. Now, granted, if the dude put a gun out on him and he was in danger of his life, it's a different thing. I guarantee that dude did that just like Tanya said, social media is king. Social media is king right now. That dude gonna take that right to the bank. He gonna take, I ain't gonna say to the court. He taking that video right to the bank. Mike Tyson knocked the shit out of me.
But he was the instigator.
Give me 30,000.
He instigated it though, Neil.
Yeah, he was the instigator, so that ain't gonna work.
Instigating is different from me threatening your life.
He hit him with
that's fine, but he repeatedly told him to leave him alone.
I get that.
At some point, Mike Tyson don't know what this man's going to do. He got to defend
Mike Tyson, but one thing about Mike Tyson, he might get off because he can play crazy real good. He's excellent at that. I'm telling you right now.
I don't think there's going to be nothing that comes.
Mike Tyson will slob out the corner of his mouth and he might get off of it. But
Mike Tyson is not going to have to open up his checkbook for nothing, guaranteed.
We're going to see.
Yeah,
I'm curious.
I think he will, because what the narrative that he's saying is that he was overly excited. So now he's stating that Mike Tyson he's a victim of his excessive force because he was just overly excited when he saw him. No, not from the video. That was badgering. But
any judge could see that he was overly drunk.
Yep.
Yeah. I gotta add one more thing to this though. So I knew about the story before, but the story broke on Good Morning America. And they went down Mike Tyson's entire history. Oh, he was a boxer and he's been in trouble and he was in prison back in whatever years and all this other stuff. And I was like, that's some dirty reporting. Come to find out, the guy who agitated Mike Tyson he was a known thief, had been in prison like 3 or 4 times and all this other stuff. And they never reported it with him being the person who was wrong. See, that's the part of reporting that I don't like. And that's how social media reported the same thing.
Yep. Mike Tyson's not going to have to open up his checkbook for nothing. I can guarantee that.
I want to follow that, man, because you're right, man. You know, as a celebrity, let me say it, that's what he is. He's a celebrity. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get, attacked. You're gonna get picked on. That's true. But he is, to me, Mike Tyson, he might be the victim in this case. But the fact of him being who he is and him going ahead and knocking the shit out of this dude, I'm curious to see how it's gonna fall down, man.
So, Cyberdog, how would you handle that situation?
Right.
I ain't Mike Tyson. I want to went on and did what he did. Okay.
And as far as I know, your hands ain't registered. So, how would you handle it?
I wouldn't hit him with my hand. I probably would have grabbed him like behind the head and kind of like smashed his head on maybe on the seat or something like that. But no, all jokes aside, it's hard to say what you would do, what you wouldn't do in that situation. Troy.
As long as you don't put your hands on me, I'm fine.
That's fine. Now you're saying what I'm saying. Did the guy put his hands on Mike? Now answer that question, Troy.
He threw water on him.
Okay, that's different.
Who knows what's in that water?
That's different. That's you don't know what was in that water.
That's true. Very true.
So he might get off on that.
He will
get
off on that.
And because he threw, like again, everybody who keeps talking about it.
It was just talk. Would have been told.
Now, Mike Tyson didn't give him forewarning a few times. Like he said, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Cool. Leave me alone. He still kept going.
Right.
The fuck, man? Leave Mike Tyson alone. It's Mike Tyson.
Right. But like he was asking for it, though. He was asking for it, though.
Well, I'm going to defer to Miss Tanya Kelly. I'm done with my topics, Miss Kelly. Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about, Gooch. Talking about good. I love it. I love when we all come collectively together and we all have our own different points. Because, man, that's a topic that, and all the topics. Man, I love it. So next week, Cyberdog, it's on you, Cyberdog.
Can't wait.
Let's go.
Hey, I'm writing mines. I'm start writing mines up now. How about that? Because it's gonna be kind of hard to top Gooch's this week. Gooch, you did excellent. I give you credit. I must say, you did.
Good job, man.
Thank you,
Good
man.
job.
Troy always on point. I'm glad the old man R. Kelly, maybe when he get out of jail, if you need some help paying his bail, I told him you can't walk down the street in his underwear. Nobody want to see them. Nobody want to see them.
Oh my gosh. Man.
Nobody want to see him wear Ken Anderson underoos. That's something y'all keep in y'all house right there. Okay?
Well, you can talk about Rob next week. We look forward to seeing Rob back in his seat, man.
Yes, we do. We do.
Yeah, we miss old boy.
Hey y'all, it's 81 degrees, man. I don't know what y'all got planned for the day, but I can't wait to get out.
Listen, and if you are here in the C bus, come downtown to Nationwide Arena for the College Basketball All-Star Extravaganza Weekend. HBCU is in the house. They got the old school versus new school. They got the HBCU game that's happening. About 3 o'clock, they're going to have the biggest line dance that's going to be jumping off. I mean, there is just so many great things that are happening. Tomorrow, they have the sneaker ball, and then they have their silver, we call them silver souls. They're going to have a 5K run. So really quick, I know you had just jumped on Summer Dog. We got to talk to Clark Kellogg. We got to talk to Cheryl Miller. She has a showing of her HBO documentary, Women of Troy. So that was like a daughter and dads. We had that girl Lele. She's doing her all-star party that's here, and Cyberdog. There is a 7-year-old little girl, 2nd grade. Her name is Lily J. Show. Lily J. She is the DJ for that girl Lele. Dope.
You know what? I was late. You know, I just want to give the team and everybody know. Me and my wife, you know, we blessed. We moving into a new house right now.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm going through right now. Come on, you want to get on camera? She don't want to get on camera. Okay.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So yes.
But I think that was excellent. And I'm gonna have to rewind because I missed all that. And I want to say having Coach T and Peyton on, you know, I'm serious. I am definitely a fan now, and I think that's something that us as a team, we all need to go out there and maybe do a show at one of the live events. And I got a question for you, Sports Kel Diva. You are at the Nationwide Arena. Kind of give us an idea, or kind of give me a feel of what's going on and what's your role in this operation today.
So we are here for the College Basketball All-Star Game, Celebrity Extravaganza. And so it is the 2022, and it's at Nationwide Arena. And it is I would just say a day of an amazing event, all for HBCU. So the experience is family atmosphere. There'll be fun for all ages. And so just kind of some quick things that are happening right now this afternoon. So again, we talked to some of the special guests, Clark Kellogg, Cheryl Smith, that girl Lele. Yo-Yo was here. So I was on, so I wasn't able to jump off, but Yo-Yo was here. Marosa was here. They had Joe Torre is here. Again, Vivica Fox. So each one of them had separate roles and separate events that they were hosting. So, and this was just beginning on Thursday, so April 21st. And so today's events that we got popping off down here, again, Cheryl Smith, she was talking about her HBO documentary, Women of Troy. Make sure you go back and rewind because Troy gave us some great information about her documentary. And she talked about how women's sports has changed and how, again, her transitioning from a athlete perspective, then to a broadcasting perspective, and now a head coach. She really quick, she talked about how the athletes are more fast, more educated, and they now know more about their branding, their likeness. We had a wealth and education talk. They talked about your financial wealth. That was what was intriguing for me. You know, sometimes we kind of get away from the financial piece, but had financial planning presentations. And then we had the Citrus State alumni, HBCU. So every time anyone who buys a ticket, some of the proceeds go to Citrus State's alumni. They had a women's empowerment mixer, all-star fashion experience. And that's where All-Star Kids party hosted by Lele. We got the world's largest HBCU line. So I got my green bracelet. So I'm getting ready to do some line dancing. And then if you are, again, we already know it's NBA finals, but come on down. DVR the game and come on down, because at 5 o'clock, the old school versus new school celebrity game that is seasoned and legit, young and lit, are going to be on the floor making it happen. They got the ultimate slam dunk challenge. That is at 5:45. The college basketball. So that's when you have the HBCU versus the best of Ohio. So a lot of the players are from Hampton. These are the men's Hampton basketball players. So they're going to be, popping off and getting it pumped. And then they have the Silver Soul. So it's just going to be a great game. And that's the all-star game. And that happens at 8 o'clock tonight. So if you can't get down here until 8, you want to come and see the best from HBCU men's basketball players, athletes from all over the HBCU collegiate world. Best against Ohio. So it's going to be a great day. And then on Sunday, to kind of to cap off the ending of this extravaganza, is the weekend wind down and the tour of Italy sneaker ball. So we'll be here. So Sports Kells Diva was able to give y'all live coverage of what is happening. Okan from New American Magazines is here. We have 07960 Michael Moore. So it's great to see us all here in our own individual platforms and again collectively working. And my cousin, shout out to Chet Chavez Moment. He is the official barber of the college basketball all-star extravaganza. So we out here getting it.
Hey, your cousin,
enjoy, man. Have a great one.
Yes, you too.
Hear all the stuff that's coming around back. Maybe we can make our way down there. I might run into you.
Okay.
But, certainly getting out to enjoy the day.
Yes, have a good time. And when we got to talk about next week, Gooch, is the black violin. We got to put that somewhere in there. Man, so that, oh my God, we got to talk about that because that was an amazing show. So Cyberdog, you up next. So bring the heat. Bring the heat. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank y'all.
All right, listeners, viewers, thank you for listening in. You'll be able to, it's going to upload. So go ahead and check it out. Have a wonderful weekend and be blessed.
Thank you. Have a great one. Bye.